staged in the green room and got set down in that chair, and live to tape means you don't get any retakes. That was a live broadcast. We taped on Friday morning, I guess, and aired Sunday morning. That's on the WFAA website out of Dallas, television station in Dallas. It's the same station owned by Belo Corporation that owns Dallas Morning News. And I feel like Wharton County has known since February, and most of Texas that's paying attention has known since February that I had launched a campaign for governor of the state of Texas. But we kept hearing, no, you really need to have a campaign launch, and I thought, well, what better place to do it than in Kay Bailey's political backyard? So we announced, had a press conference Saturday morning at 9:30. Oh, it all runs together. 9:30, 10 o'clock. Had a great turnout, terrible weather this weekend. We tried to bring rain home with us, and it made it to about Waco. I quit. Had a good turnout at that press conference and got a lot of attention. So I know that here in Wharton County, you may feel like it's not getting discussed very much yet, but I want to encourage you that this race is finding favor all over the state of Texas. It is finding favor in the media. Grummer Jeffers is the political writer. He's the gentleman that was on the video there with me. He came to the press conference Saturday morning. He wrote a very favorable article in the Dallas Morning News. Austin American-Statesman, Waco, Lubbock, Fort Worth. Someone told me here just a minute ago there was a third of a column, would you say third of a column article, third of a page in the Chronicle on Sunday. That is accurate, that the statistical polling that's been done to date, typically the options in the governor's race are Kay or Rick or someone else, and someone else wins every poll. And so all we have to do is let people know that I am that someone else. Every internet poll, as you might imagine, I win hands down. We don't even have to have a runoff. And that would be all right with me too. I think that when I considered running for this office, and those of you that know me politically can attest to the fact that it's not something I've been planning. You've never heard me talk about it because I didn't see it on my political radar screen ever. I got my first request in November. Noe and I were at a planning meeting. We were helping some young political activists in Houston who were putting together a big rally. And they were kind of lost and asked me if I would come in and give them some advice. And it was at that meeting that the first individual said to me, hey, why don't you run for governor? And I laughed and choked on my iced tea. And 4 months later decided that I was in fact going to engage this battle. I remember the last election cycle. Many of you may remember Governor Perry lost Wharton County. This Republican voting county voted for Carol Strayhorn first, and Chris Bell second, and Rick Perry third. You may remember the promises to secure the border. And no sooner than his hand was down from the swearing-in ceremony, he said, oh no, really, just kidding, just needed to win an election. He said what I had to say. You may remember Jacob and I were checking cattle into the San Antonio Livestock Show. It was February, 3 years ago maybe. I have clients in Houston, and one of them called and said, we need this report from you. And I went to my aunt's house and logged onto the internet, and while I'm waiting for my office server to connect to my laptop, all of my news posts come across, and it's a Friday afternoon at about 4 o'clock, and I get the governor's executive order that every 11-year-old girl in this state will be vaccinated. And I thought, you know, you scum. on a Friday afternoon when nobody's paying attention. I was never prouder of our state senator Glenn Hager than I was the next Monday morning when the first thing he did, without a poll, without any input from his constituents, he filed a bill Monday morning and said, no sir, you will not do this to our daughters. 6-8 months ago, the courts now show, with no evidence, sorry Dennis, I'm gonna mess up your video. This is what the Supreme Court found out about Child Protective Services. The department failed to carry its burden with respect to requirements of the law. It did not present any evidence. It did not present any evidence of danger to the physical health or safety of any children. It failed to establish that the need for protection of the children was urgent and required immediate removal. Military-style tactics were used to roll through a community in West Texas that is no different than Louise, or Bowling, or Iago, or East Bernard, and took every child. Every child. And the governor said, if responsibility needs to be taken, saying we stepped across some legal line, well, I guess I'll take that responsibility.
I guess.
He cares not for me and you. He cares not for our families. He cares not for our businesses. He is sold out to international interest. And it couldn't be clearer. One of the gentlemen here today was letting me know that Mr. Giuliani, respected as he is for what he did for his city and what he did during the 9/11 tragedy, is a partner in a law firm called Giuliani Bracewell Giuliani. Big part of what they do is make sure that Centra gets the contract with the state of Texas for that Trans-Texas corridor. That's their big client. Giuliani's coming back to Texas to campaign for Perry. If you think the corridor is dead, you better think again. It is, silent right now, but it is not gone. So, knowing all of that, I had a conversation with my 24-year-old daughter, and I went through all of the reasons why a little farm girl running a small business in Wharton County cannot become the next governor of the state of Texas. And she said, Mama, that's not your job. Your job is to do the good that is before you to do. It is clear, it has been clear to us for 2 years that your political stage has been getting larger and larger, and your voice is resonating in Texas. Get out there and fight. That's all you taught us to do. That's all you can expect of yourself. Get out there and do it. So in February, I called my longtime dear political friend Mark Bosick and said, I'm going to do this and I need a treasurer I can trust. And he said, oh gosh. Oh gosh, yes, I'll be your treasurer. And therein launched the campaign of Debra Medina for governor. I've had so many things happen in the intervening several months, and I think that I was very excited, and I've got to give a special thanks to all of you who are helping host this event this evening. It's wonderful to be here among hometown folks, and I need your support. I need your help. We are indeed fighting two very entrenched, very powerful Goliaths. But I also wanted to encourage you tonight to show you, not the video that's on our website, and I hope if you haven't already done that, that you will visit medinafortexas.com. There's a nice video there that you can watch that talks about the campaign and what we're doing. But I wanted you to see some of the media coverage that we're getting, and that is beginning to happen